Hello Summoners, my name is Dan, and welcome to the only Qiyana guide you'll ever need. She's one of the few AD assassins in the game, and she looks like so much fun to play. Qiyana is fully ready to tear up the Rift, and here at ProGuides, we're going to tell you how to play her. Before we begin, make sure that you're checking out ProGuides.com. We have a brand new feature that you cannot miss called InstaPro. Whenever you need coaching 24/7, we are here to help you and coach you. This is on-demand coaching by the best of the best, and just like how you get use out of these videos, you can get even more use out of ProGuides.com. If you want to see massive improvements to your rank for free, then use the link in the description down below. Now, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So first off, here's a couple reasons why you should consider picking her. She's a unique champion with a lot of options. While other assassins tend to try to kill their priority target and get out, Qiyana has a lot more possibilities. She's an assassin champion whose team fighting is stronger than her pick potential. Also, she's able to choose between building assassin or assassin bruiser hybrid. Now, when we're thinking about Qiyana, she has a lot of strengths. First of all, she's got a versatile playstyle. She has low mana costs, simple kit with lots of potential, high skill cap, low skill floor. She's an AD assassin with CC, very strong scaling, and she can take some bruiser itemization to make her tankier. But alongside all those strengths, there are a few weaknesses to keep in mind. Safety is situational. She can be abused. Her dash is kind of like Yasuo's, but she can only use it once. If she's near a bush, she's much safer, but otherwise, it's very prone to ganks. Her non-targeted dash has a very short range. It's good for jumping over short walls, but again, the distance it travels is tiny. Another thing is she's squishy with an assassin's build. She's reliant on positioning on the map to utilize kit. She won't be as strong in an open lane. She needs river or brushes to maximize the effectiveness of her abilities. There's no built-in sustain with her, and wave clear is pretty short in range. Alright, let's go over a few of Qiyana's attacks here. Her passive is called Royal Privilege. Qiyana's next attack or ability on a target deals bonus damage. After proccing her passive, there's a cooldown indicating when you can again deal bonus damage to that target again. Using Terra Shape to pick up or change elements will immediately reset the cooldown. This is going to be one of the strongest passives in the game because she's ridiculously easy to proc. Most passives have conditions or are auto attack only, but you can proc this one with an auto or from a distance with QR. Also, she can hit multiple targets at once and she scales really well. Next up is her Q, Edge of Ixtal. Qiyana slashes forward in a straight line, dealing reduced damage to targets beyond the first. This ability has a moderate cooldown, but can be immediately reset by casting W. The big catch on this ability is that you can gain various bonuses based on which element you're holding. Wall element deals bonus damage to enemies under an HP threshold, currently 50%. River element adds a root, followed by a slow. Brush element creates a grass trail that works similarly to Akali's Shroud. The trail gives her bonus movement speed and stealth. Based on situations, you'll constantly be looking for elements to take and adapt. The mana cost is quite low, so even after resetting the cooldown and casting it again, you'll have little trouble clearing waves. Qiyana's W is Terra Shape. Hop a short distance in a direction. You'll also grab the elemental bonus of whatever is closest to the area you chose to cast this ability. While holding an element, you receive out-of-combat movement speed while traversing that terrain, bonus attack speed, and bonus on-hit damage. Note that this ability does not reset your auto attack timer. It's most effectively used to cover distance while waiting for your next auto attack to load or for the purpose of picking up an element you need. Another important use of this ability is while roaming or approaching a team fight. Pick the element that you think you'll need so that your first Q will have an elemental bonus. Next up, her E, Audacity. Dash at targeted for. It's very similar to Yasuo's E, except that it has a much longer cooldown. Just like Yasuo, you can press Q while dashing and it will redirect your Q, aiming it at the enemy you've dashed through. There's a similar interaction with your ult. If you don't make any rapid mouse movements while using ER in quick succession, your ult will be aimed at the target you're dashing through. With the ultimate, you can snap your mouse quickly to change the direction it goes in if it's not ideal to allow it to cast behind you. The distance you travel is fixed, so casting it from max range will have you land in front of your target, while casting it close to them will put you behind them. You can use this ability to jump through many walls across Summoner's Rift. And lastly, R, Supreme Display of Talent. Qiyana sends a wind blast in a target direction, stopping it if it hits a wall. Enemies hit by it are knocked back. If the wind blast hits the river, a brush, or a wall, it'll create a shock blast which deals damage and stuns targets. Hitting walls also causes the shock blast to spread across that wall's entire border. Dragon Pit, Baron Pit, and Summoner's Rift's edges are gold mines. They create huge shock blasts that stretch extremely far. You can also buffer Qiyana's ultimate with Flash. Yep, insect plays abound. When it comes to build speculation, you have two options. First, Glass Cannon, Ghost Blade, Dusk Blade, Edge of Night, Last Whisper, Mobies, Guardian Angel, or Ravenous. And then there's Bruiser Hybrid. Triforce, Sterix, pick 2 of either Ghostblade or Death's Dance or Duskblade, Tabbies or Mercs, Guardian Angel or Ravenous. Now, to move on to combos, Qiyana has a lot of combos, and you're not going to use some of them often, but you need to learn to recognize situations where you'll use them and also make slight modifications based on the situations. QWQ. This is a staple, low-commitment combo that you're going to use all the time. It's good for short trades at a short, but not melee range distance. It's also a very basic wave clear combo once you have enough AD. This combo is very strong because you can activate your passive twice, and your second Q will have an elemental bonus. By taking Wall as your element, you'll usually have bonus damage on minions because you've already brought them low enough. EQ Situational Auto Attack, W Auto Attack, Q. This combo is going to be used for extended trades and team fighting. An extra bonus for this combo is using your W to pick up the river element when roaming. Whether you commit to ganking another lane or come back to your own, you'll be able to lead this combo with the river element, rooting and slowing your opponent. This sets up an extra auto attack, and the lockdown is great regardless. In situations where you don't have the river element preloaded, you may or may not get this auto attack in depending on how your opponent reacts. Afterwards, you'll W when your opponent begins to walk away, or use it to pick up a wall element when they're low enough for the bonus damage. Finally, you'll end this combo with Q. When casting your W, take Wall if you're trying to deal extra damage, Brush if you want to immediately disengage after, or River to continue locking down foes. Next up, ER Auto Attack, Q Auto Attack, W Auto Attack, Q. Basically the same combo as the previous one, implementing your ultimate. The auto attacks that you weave in will depend on the situation. Terrain and positioning play a big part here, so you might have to modify the combo. For example, you might need to use EQR Auto W Auto Q when you'll be pushing your opponents further away from you. W. You can use your W to reposition yourself for any combo. It'll let you find a better angle to use your E, or another angle to use your alt. Example, WER Auto Q. RE. When you need to escape, a situational combo you can use is R into E. R your opponent onto a wall and dash through them. Tiamat can be used during several ability animations. The most practical use is going to be during your W, since you won't be able to do anything during the animation anyway. Some more common combos you'll use are Q, W, Tiamat, Auto, Q. Tiamat E, Tiamat first. E, Q, Auto, W, Tiamat, Q. Now let's talk about how to play Qiyana. When it comes to Qiyana's early game, Qiyana's early laning is actually quite strong. Her biggest weaknesses is her short range and lack of sustain. This means that champions that beat her will be able to take advantage of her by bullying her out of the lane. Champions who can poke her or who can win all-ins while sticking on her will come out on top. She'll do well into champions who have difficulty punishing her initial bursty trade patterns. Qiyana scales really well, so you only need to play aggressively in winning or even matchups. Against champions who beat you, try to scale into the mid game where your ultimate will be much more useful in fights in your Dragon or Baron. Mid to late game. Qiyana does well in team fights and has a reasonably strong side lane. If you decided to go with a tankier build especially, you'll be able to handle 1v1s relatively well. In side lane split pushing, you need to modify your combos. Instead of expending your element, there will be many situations where you'll want to hold it instead to gain that extra attack speed and on-hit damage. You only cast Qs when your W is up, so you can pick up an element immediately and continue to have the bonus stats. Fights in the river and near walls are going to be the ones you want to take. Qiyana's ultimate stuns anyone hit by it if they're in the river or next to a wall. If she's not able to take advantage of this ultimate, however, she's rather subpar compared to other top picks. Here are a couple quick tips for playing Qiyana. Your ultimate is one of the strongest tools in the game to punish your opponents for starting neutral objectives. Especially on Baron, wait for them to take some damage and you can hard punish your enemies by boxing them in with your ultimate. Don't forget about bonus attack speed and on-hit damage from your W. In many situations, you'll need to assess what's the best way to use your Q. Sometimes holding it and having that auto attack bonus will be more optimal. Take advantage of her ability to traverse tricky terrain in clutch situations. Remember to not stick to one build every game. You have the flexibility to choose between a tankier build or going glass cannon. Make sure to adapt to what you need every game. Since you have so many combos you can use, consider these factors in choosing what to do. How fast do I need to deal damage? Some combos yield more damage but take more time, and others deal more damage instantly while losing out on long-term damage. How much time does this combo give my opponent to react? Leading with R from Fog of War might lower your damage, but will also give you a better chance of landing your stun. Do I need stealth? In some cases, you might have to look for safer plays and take the Brush Elemental for the stealth rather than the Wall Elemental for an execute. That's it for the only Qiyana guide that you will ever need. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to our channel to be notified of our next video. We have so much content ready for you guys within the coming weeks, and I'm sure you wouldn't want to miss out. Also, make sure to check out ProGuides.com using the link below if you want to see massive improvements to your rank. That's all for now, and I will see you guys out on the Rift.